Hello everyone, welcome back to this series on Music 21. Today is a beginner-friendly video on writing simple melodies with Music 21. My goal is to give a really brief introduction to the Music 21 Note and Stream. These are very important and powerful classes in Music 21. I'm only going to cover a few key points about the Note and Stream, then we can take what we learn and write some simple melodies. So there are a few prereqs that you must have. Music 21 is a Python library, so you need to have Python installed on your machine. And if you're still using Python 2.7, I highly recommend that you upgrade to Python 3. The next prereq is that you have some basic music knowledge. You don't need to have a deep understanding of music theory, but for this video, I expect you know a little bit about music notes. For example, do you know what the difference between a C note and a G note is? And I also expect that you know a little bit about note duration. So do you know what a quarter note or an eighth note is, and so on. The final prereq is that you have Music 21 installed on your machine. The installation process varies between Windows, Mac, and Linux, so I will not cover the installation process in this video. I will leave a link in the description to the download instructions, and you can follow along based on your operating system. If you run into any problems, then I suggest you post an issue on the Music 21 GitHub page, and from there, the maintainers or community members can help you out. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we need to do is import the note and stream from Music 21. At a high level, the note represents a single music note, while the stream represents a collection of notes. So let's look at some concrete examples with code. In this first line of code, we're creating a new note called N1 with the value of C4. C4 means that the note value is C, and it's the fourth C on a standard piano. C4 is also commonly known as middle C. Then N1.show displays the note on the treble clef. Of course, we can create multiple notes, so here I create a note N2 with the value of C5. So this is C, but one octave higher than C4. Okay, so as you can see, it's very simple to create individual notes, but it's more interesting to combine the notes together to create a simple melody. And that's where we can use the Music 21 Stream. So here we have a Music 21 Stream. For now, you can think of a stream as a list of notes. So our stream is called S, and then we are appending each note to the stream with s.append N1 and s.append N2. And of course, we can do s.show, and this displays the entire sequence of notes on the treble clef. Another important fact about the stream object is that it has a write function. In this line of code, I write my stream to a MIDI file. The FP parameter is the file path of where to save the MIDI file. So here I am saving my stream to a file called test.bini. Okay, we know how to create notes by value and put them into a stream. But as musicians, we also want notes to have different durations. For example, we may want eighth notes, quarter notes, half notes, and so on. So notice in this example, that by default, Music 21 creates each note as a quarter note. Here I create a note with value C4. The music notation clearly shows that it is a quarter note. Also take a look at the quarter length property. My note N1 has a quarter length of 1. This means that the duration of my note has the duration of one quarter note. So if we want to modify the duration of a note, we could reset the quarter length property. For example, here, I set the quarter length to 0.5 and we get an eighth note. And as we know, eighth notes have half the duration of the quarter note. And here I set the quarter length to 2 and thus we get a whole note. Whole notes have double the duration of a quarter note. Now, instead of resetting the quarter length property of each note, we can set the quarter length directly in the note constructor when we make a new note. So here I'm creating a new note with the value C and a quarter length of 4. And thus I created a whole note with a value C. Okay, so now let's put everything together and create a simple melody. First, I'm going to create a set of different notes. When I create the note, I'm setting the note value and the quarter length property. For example, N1 is a quarter note, N2 and 3 are eighth notes, and N4 is a half note. Next, I create a stream called S, and I add all the notes to the stream. Then I can call s.show, and we see the melody we created in music notation. Finally, we can use the s.write function to save our melody to a MIDI file. In this code, I'm saving it to a file called mymelody.midi. So in this presentation, you got a brief introduction to the Music21 Note and Stream, and how to use them to write simple melodies. Just to be clear, we've only scratched the surface. Music21 is a very powerful library, and gives us the ability to create very sophisticated melodies. If you're a musician, you probably want to do specific things. For example, instead of single note melodies, you may want to use chords. Or maybe you want to use multiple instruments. Or maybe you want to work with more complex time signatures, and the list goes on. You can do all that and more with Music21. So be on the lookout for more videos. I will dive deeper into Music21 and explain different use cases. Thank you.